Hello and welcome to the Federal. As the first session of the new parliament comes to an end, we talk to Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Professor and Co-Director, Lokniti-CSDS. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Kumar.
Thank you for inviting me, Gyan.
So my first question is, what are your initial thoughts when you look back at the functioning of the parliament in the last few days?
I think if you look at the pattern of democracy, I think there can't be a much better parliament like this, because the ruling party has a majority of 293 and there is a very strong opposition, 333, 334. And as a student of politics, we have been learning, reading, listening that for a good functioning democracy, you need a stable government, but at the same time, you also need a strong opposition. This is what is there in the present Lok Sabha. But I think sadly, what has happened during the last 3-4 days doesn't give us the hope of like this could be the best model of a functioning democracy, because there has been a lot of confrontation. But as I said, it is expected that in a functioning democracy, this should be an ideal democracy, ideal Lok Sabha. But that doesn't seem to have happened during last 3 or 4 days.
Sir, the numerical advantage of the opposition came to the fore as Prime Minister was heckled continuously for 2 hours. How do you react to this strategy of the opposition?
See, I think the problem with the ruling party and the opposition is the following. The ruling party is not able to comprehend or even digest that this is not the BJP government of 2014 and 2019. They have a reduced majority and it is now an NDA government. BJP is the leading party. So they have still not realized that. And the opposition, yes, the strength of opposition is much stronger in the present Lok Sabha, but they have to understand they are still opposition. They are not the ruling party. So they are behaving like they are the ruling party, and the ruling party thinks that they are as strong as they were in 2019. So they have to, I think maybe they will take some time to realize that things have changed in the parliament, both for the ruling party, ruling coalition, and for the opposition. I think that's the problem. The problem of how do you look at the numbers. While BJP gives importance to the number, rightly so, because BJP keeps saying, we are the single largest party, we are the ruling party. Don't forget that we have formed the government for the 3rd time in a row. Congress, yes, has managed to increase the tally, but they have to understand that they are the opposition party 3 times in a row. They are not the ruling party. So this understanding has to be within the party and among the leaders of both the parties. If the day they start realizing that this is the reality, I think that will pave way for a good functioning of the parliament in the coming sessions.
So while it is the responsibility of the union government to run the house, how difficult will it be for BJP facing a united opposition? And of course, it has less numbers in parliament now.
No, the difficulty is going to be enormous. And the difficulty is precisely because BJP does not want to concede even an inch to the opposition. The day they realize that opposition is in sizable number, and it's not about numbers only, it's about the issues as well. But BJP is giving a lot of importance to the number, and they keep, the view is that we are in a majority, we are in the government. You also have to look at the issues, whether opposition is in sizable number or not. Are they picking up the issues which are relevant? The day you start giving importance to the issues which are really, really relevant, then I think it would lead to, smooth functioning of the parliament. I think at the moment, any issue being raised by the opposition is seen like opposing the government. So the government is not willing to budge even an inch. And the opposition is all the time trying to oppose whatever issue is being raised by the ruling party. So I think what we call the gray area, there has to be some discussions, because there are issues on which both the parties need to agree, whether you are in opposition, whether you are the ruling party. And there are a lot of issues about that. That's not happening at the moment. That has not happened during the last 4 or 5 days. of the functioning of the parliament. So that common platform needs to be figured out. Political parties, both from both the side, whether you are on the ruling side or on the opposition, they need to come on a common platform, at least on the issues on which there should not be any contestation. I think, to pick up an example like the NEET exam, it's not about ruling party versus the opposition. It is about the career of a very large number of students. So on these issues, some discussion should take place, and this should be at the forefront of discussion. I hope so in the coming sessions of the parliament.
So we have witnessed a direct confrontation between Prime Minister Modi and Rahul Gandhi, and it is something like a personality clash which is happening inside the parliament now. Don't you think the two leaders should step back and let the parliament function?
No, absolutely very unfortunate what we have seen in the parliament when a leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi, spoke, and there were a lot of attack on the ruling party, good or bad, right or wrong. I'm not getting into that. But when Prime Minister spoke in the parliament, he was also being hooted out all the time by the opposition party. And you're right that it has turned out to be like a clash between two leaders in the house. The clash between the two leaders is all right when you are campaigning on the ground, when you are contesting for election. But I think governance is what matters in the Lok Sabha. Once you have got elected, once you are in the parliament, you have to legislate, you have to govern the country well, you have to listen to the needs, demands of the people of this country. So constant showdown by one leader for the other is not a healthy sign in any democracy, and that is what was unfortunate in the first 4 days of Indian Parliament.
Sir, do you think if the government had agreed for a deputy speaker, Lok Sabha speaker post election, or given that post to the opposition, there could have been some kind of a understanding between the two sides?
You have used the word some kind of an understanding, and I do agree, some kind of an understanding, but I don't think that suppose ruling party would have agreed to opposition's proposal of giving the post of deputy speaker to the opposition right at the beginning, would that have meant better coordination in the house? I'm not sure that if that was the only issue for confrontation. I think, as I said right at the beginning, the ruling party BJP is still to digest that they are no more in a majority, and the opposition still have to figure out that they are still the opposition, they are not the ruling party. So this issue of deputy speaker would have resolved some of the animosity. There is deep-seated animosity between the two sides. If ruling party has considered the post of deputy speaker, it would have certainly mellowed down the animosity between the two sides. But I don't think that was the only, the only issue which would have resolved all the pending issues between the ruling party and the opposition.
So my last question is, while the opposition seems to be united, neither Nitish Kumar or Chandrababu Naidu have come out in support of PM Modi or condemned how he was heckled for 2 hours during his speech. It seems the NDA leaders are absent and BJP is alone in this fight with the opposition.
That may be your interpretation that, BJP seems to be alone in the parliament. I think BJP, this is an NDA government. I did not get any sign of any NDA alliance having any unease about the way the ruling party leaders were behaving in the house. Yes, they are maintaining a silence. There have been, surprises by their silence when it came to the distribution of portfolio, because when the cabinet was being formed and the portfolio was being distributed, even before the oath taking ceremony, there were speculations about NDA, some good portfolio, the plump ministries going to TDP or JDU, which has not happened. But there were no signs of any protest, no signs of unease. So I think there is maybe some game plan. They want to just, cement their relationship with BJP at the beginning. So they have not shown any sign of unease, neither in the parliament nor outside parliament. They have not even given any indication of their soft corner for the opposition. So I think they are just following the coalition dharma. They are the NDA alliance, and they just want to go along with the proposals or the way BJP want to take the house forward. So it may come to, there may be people, there may be people who might give different interpretation, but I take them as the parties, whether we are talking about TDP or JDU, they're just following the coalition dharma. They're just trying to work with the government in the first 5 days of the parliament.
Thank you for talking to the Federal, Dr. Kumar. It was a pleasure.